Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Miss.
So let me introduce myself first. My name is Miss Grace H. Andrade, but you can call me Teacher Grace. I am your music education teacher for today's class, and I hope that every one of you will participate and listen carefully to my discussion. Do you understand?
Yes, teacher.
Okay. So for your attendance, kindly type your last name and your favorite music here in the chat box. Do you understand? So for example, Andrade dash Love Story by Taylor Swift. Do you get it? Yes? Okay, so to formally start our class, who may lead the prayer? Who will volunteer? Okay, Mr. Stan, you are recognized. Amen. So thank you, Mr. Astan, for your inspiring prayer. Okay, so since we are in a virtual meeting, I have here some classroom etiquettes that you need to follow. Okay, so that the discussion will not be distracted. So number one rule is turn off your microphone when the teacher is discussing. Okay. Number two, turn on your camera and then turn on your microphone when you want to answer and when the teacher recognizes you. Okay? Number three is learn and enjoy. Okay? Okay, so let's proceed to the next. I have prepared an activity for you to answer. So the title of our activity is photo guessing. So what you're gonna do is to guess the photos that I will be flashing on the screen. Okay? Okay, so any one of you have a chance to answer and to guess the photos. So what you're gonna do is to type the word music in the chat box. Okay, so the person who commented first will be the one that I will be recognizing and will guess the photos. Okay, so each categories or photos is one word. Okay, do you get it?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, so let's start. Number one, what is the word? So guess the photos. Yes, Miss Ortiz, you are recognized. What is your answer?
The answer is famous.
Yeah, so these are famous people. So as you can see, there is a Taylor Swift. There is a who's this? Yeah, so this is James Yap. This is LeBron James, and this is Katy Perry. So these are the famous people. So next photos. Number two. What is your guess word? Yes, Mr. Ustan commented first. What is your answer?
Composer.
Yeah, so these are the composers. Composers from the Philippines and composers from international. So next, photos. Number three. Who can answer? Yes, Mr. Ramos, you are recognized. What is your answer?
Romanticness.
Romantic. Yeah, so that is, you can see that love, the heart shape, and the two people. Yes. Next, the last one is the, what is your answer?
I think it's period, Miss.
Yes, correct. So the answer is period. Okay, so congratulations to the winners. So who can combine the words and what will be the phrase that will create it?
Reyes, Miss.
Yes, Mr. Reyes, what is your answer?
Famous composers of the Romantic period.
Yes. So the phrase that will be created is the famous composers of romantic period. So the topic for today is famous composers of the romantic period. Do you get it? Okay, so let's proceed to the next activity. So I have here another activity for you to answer. I will be flashing again pictures in the screen, and what you're gonna do is to identify or guess who are these persons. Okay, do you get it? So for the group 1, we have Abunalas to Estimar. For the group 2, we have Sobiate to Ramos. So for the group 3, we have Johoy to Ostan. For the group 4, the last group is from Trinidad to Viajidor. Group 1, you will be the one to answer first. So all the members of the group 1 will have a chance to answer, okay? So for the next photos, the members of the group 2 will have a chance to answer, okay? So if you want to answer, type in the chat box the word music, okay? Okay, so the person who commented first will be the one to answer or will be recognized. Okay, so do you have any questions? None? If none, then let's have a try. So the first one, group 1. What is your answer? Correct. Group 2, what is your answer? Johoy, you are recognized? Yes. Group 3, what is your answer? Ramos, you are recognized. What is your answer? Correct. Group 4, The last one, what is your answer? Let's see if your answer is correct. Correct! So clap your hands to all the winners. Okay, now let's discuss about the vocal music of the Romantic period.
In the Romantic period, the composers interpret poems, mood, atmosphere, and imagery into music. The Romantic artists found inspirations in landscapes, so their subjects were traditional myths, legends, and folklore, usually dealing with the supernatural, drastic, and less ordinary. The vocal music in this period requires singers to perform a greater range of tone, color, dynamics, and pitch. The meaning of the opera became an important source of musical expressions. The birth of the opera house came in this period. These are the famous composers of the Romantic period. Who can read? Reyes, Miss. Mr. Reyes, you are recognized. Namely, Franz Liszt, Frédéric Chopin, Camille Saint-Saëns, Hector Berlioz, Robert Schumann, Niccolo Pagani, and Peter Lich Tchaikovsky. Alright, so one of the famous composers in the Romantic period is Niccolo Pagani. He was born on October 27, 1782 in Genoa, Italy, in a family of 6 children. His musical skills started with playing the mandolin at the age of 5. He eventually transferred his training to the violin at the age of 7 with different violin professors in Italy. His violin teachers could not keep up with the progress of his violin skills that he kept on transferring from one violin teacher to another. This led him to adopt all his teachers' influences in playing the violin. His compositions inspired a lot of other composers, such as Franz Liszt, Frédéric Chopin, and Robert Schumann. Some works of Niccolo Pagani are La Campanella, 15 Quartets for Guitar and Strings Trio, and The Carnival of Venice. Next, we have Frédéric Chopin. He was known as the poet of the piano and was born on March 1, 1810 in Zelazowa, Poland. Frédéric Chopin began to play piano at the age of 4. He composed Polonaise at the age of 7 and studied piano at Warsaw Conservatory under Wilhelm Warfel, and most of his music was influenced by folk music. He finished his formal education at the higher school in 1829 and soon traveled to Europe, giving concerts in places such as Vienna, Munich, Paris, and London. He wrote almost exclusively for piano and made extensive use of piano pedal in most of his compositions. Some of his music is characterized by its beautiful tone, rhythmic flexibility, grace, and elegance. Some of his compositions, like mazurkas and polonaises, express his love for Poland. Chopin is famous for the following: ballad, mazurka, nocturne, polonaise, and others.
Alright, since you already know about the famous composers of the Romantic period, so do you have any questions, clarifications? None? Then I will be the one to ask you a question. So, in what ways can you help to conserve the compositions of the famous composers? Anyone? Yes, Miss Subiate. What is your answer? All right, good idea. Some more answers? Yes, Rabago. All correct. Yeah. So that's all. And now let's proceed to the next activity.
Alright, so we will be having a rap contest. So the mechanics or the procedures are: number 1, choose a topic, either violin and string music, piano music, and program music, and you will present the report in rap style. Record a video of your performance and send it to the teacher either offline or online. You can send it through Facebook Messenger. And last, write the script of your concept rapping in document form. Do you get it, class? Okay.
Alright, so to test yourself, if you learned a lot, I will give you a 10-item test to answer. So kindly get one piece sheet of paper and a ball pen. Also, I will give you 2 minutes to prepare. Okay? So are you ready, class? Yes, teacher.
Read each statement or question below carefully and fill in the blank with the correct answer. Number 1, who was known as the virtuoso pianist, composer, and the busiest musician during the Romantic era. Number 2, Peter Lich Tchaikovsky became famous after composing the musical poem Fatum and Blank. Number 3, it is a verse form or narrative that is set to music. Number 4, who was considered as a composer who creates elegant music, neat, clean, polished, never excessive, and an example of this is this one. Number 5, who was the most famous violin virtuoso in the world? Next, the letter B. Identify the composer of the given music piece. Write your answer on the underlined space provided. Number 1, Sonata. Number 2, the Carnival of Venice. So, who is the composer? Number 3, Anne Sospero. Number 4, Swan Lake. And number 5, The Swan. Are you done, class? Yes, teacher. So, kindly take a screenshot of your answer and then send it to my Facebook Messenger, okay? Not later than today. Do you get it, class? Yes, teacher.
Okay, so for your assignment, kindly search and write down the names of the composers of the instrumental in Romantic period. Number 2 is write down the music of the composers in instrumental in Romantic period. Do you understand? Some more questions? Clarifications? If none, then let's end this class. Thank you and goodbye.